Very good morning. It is 7 a.m. Monday, October. What is today? Oh my gosh. I said October? What is wrong with me? It is Monday, December 15th, 2025. I just had a little brainage. Welcome to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. The phone lines are open 888-658-0234, 888-658-0234. Had a little snow over the weekend, a little something, something. So let's find out what today's going to be like. Meteorologist Mike Favetta will be here in just a sec with the full Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
So just to confirm, Mike, it is not October.
It is not October. No, you look outside, it looks like the middle of February. It is.
Yes.
It is cold. It is windy, and it's that harsh chill, Ken, where a lot of places in New Jersey, even the ordinary rock salt isn't very effective at these temperatures. Actual air temperatures right now down into the mid and low teens, especially with the wind chill. 16 right now in Trenton, 14 in Toms River. Oh, but it feels so much colder. Here's your wind chill at this hour, 7:01. Feels like 8 on the Green in Morristown, 7 up in Hackensack, and 3 degrees is how it feels right there over on the Lakewood border at the airports in Toms River, 9 in Mount Holly, and 4 in Atlantic City. We got quite a bit of snow over the weekend, enough to prompt the winter storm warnings as that snow was falling. Really impressive amounts, upwards of 6 to 8 inches down across Monmouth and Ocean County, and now that is affecting the forecast, at least long term, because last week, when we thought there maybe would be a little bit of snow, a couple of flurries, now that there is actually a healthy, deep snowpack on the ground, that influences the forecast and it makes it colder going into the next several days. So while the wind gusts are high today, temperatures are 18 to 20 degrees colder than they were yesterday. The forecast is now trending colder over the next few days, and we will not get above freezing until Wednesday morning. It's going to take some time before we're back above that freezing mark. Staying in the teens today, actually getting a little bit colder between now and 8 a.m., if you can believe it. The afternoon high only makes it into the upper 20s as an actual air temperature, but again, it feels colder. Tonight, we're down in the teens again, maybe 20s at the coast, and then tomorrow, I think maybe getting to freezing in spots, but most of central and northern New Jersey, upper 20s to low 30 or 31 at best. Have to wait till Wednesday, 10 a.m. for the state to warm up back to that 35, maybe 40-degree mark. So it's a prolonged cold that pretty much has the core of the polar vortex upon us, at least for the next several days. So the 3-day forecast is dry, is clear. We do not see any melting occur until Wednesday and Thursday. And even then, that's where the issues begin, because on Wednesday and Thursday, there's enough sunshine and enough warmth that there's melting in the afternoon and then a hard freeze later at night. So we'll see the black ice issues again each morning, starting Wednesday night into Thursday and then again on Friday.
And black ice is just so dangerous because the roadway looks just a little damp and you think, oh, it's just
Yeah.
fine. You get a little too close to the car in front of you, hit your brake, and you find out fast the hard way.
That's it.
But all right, sir, thank you very much. It is a very cold 16 degrees in Trenton right now. It's 18 degrees northern New Jersey. We have 15 degrees in Vineland, and it's 19 degrees right now in Cape May. Let's take a look at some of the traffic issues we have. Right now, there are speed restrictions because of ice and snow still on roadways. So we have a speed restriction, weather-related, on the Jersey Turnpike, northbound from north of the Delaware Memorial Bridge down in Pennsville, all the way up to Interchange 3, 168 in Barrington. All lanes are open. Just watch out. There's salting operations going on. By the way, give the salters and the sanders and whatnot plenty of room, please. We have weather-related issues on the Ben Franklin Bridge in both directions from the Pennsylvania side in Philadelphia to the Jersey side in Camden. All lanes open again. It's we have issues with the salting and sanding. The foot walk will be on a delayed opening. So if you normally walk between Camden and Philadelphia, just be aware of that. Let's show the approach to the Lincoln Tunnel if we can, Pam. This is a 495 approach that goes to the Helix. Take a look at that at this early hour. It is bumper to bumper. Now, part of the reason is not just because we do have a gridlock alert day in Manhattan, just to give you that heads up, but there is an overheight tractor trailer at the Lincoln Tunnel, center tunnel, eastbound from the Jersey side, Weehawken. So all lanes are blocked. So they're trying to divert everybody. Remember, they have a dedicated bus lane So that means all the cars are now going to be between 1 and 2 lanes making their way into Manhattan. It's an absolute mess. This is something to avoid. So don't take the Lincoln Tunnel in at any and all costs. Your better bet is the Holland. It's going to cost you about 30 minutes. And let's head a little north, shall we? Actually, before we do the GWB, you could get it ready, Pam. There's a down pole to report on 206 both directions north of Eggert Crossing Road in Lawrence. All lanes are closed. Now we show you the 8095 approach to the GWB, upper and lower levels heavy, but better than you have at the Lincoln. This is going to cost you about 40 to 45 minutes into Manhattan. Again, gridlock alert day, so please beware. 7:05 is our time. Airports throughout the Northeast faced horrendous delays after the weekend snowstorm that dumped up to 8 inches of snow on parts of the tri-state. Newark Liberty International faced delays of over 4 hours yesterday. LaGuardia Airport was under a ground stop, and they had a ground stop, get this, of nearly 6 hours. JFK also placed under a ground stop with delays of just over 3 hours. LaGuardia always gets it worse than anyone because they can't store planes. It's such a small airport that any planes that are there are stuck there, and planes that need to come in for later flights can't get in. So that's the problem at LaGuardia. That's why they always have the longest delays when you have weather. 7:06 right now, and officials in Providence, Rhode Island announced the 24-year-old U.S. Army vet that they had in custody has been released. They now believe they questioned the wrong person. This after a suspect opened fire at Brown University over the weekend, killing at least 2 and injuring 9 others. The attack took place Saturday afternoon at the Ivy League school, prompting a shelter-in-place order that forced students and faculty to spend the night on campus. The individual they had was picked up at a hotel 16 miles from the crime scene. Again, police thought they had their person. They haven't said one way or the other, but they said he is no longer a suspect. He has been released. That doesn't mean they may not question him in the future, but remember, all people are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. So that's why we're not even mentioning his name. It's not fair to do that because his name was mentioned all day yesterday. 7:07, Rob Reiner and his wife, photographer, producer Michelle Singer Reiner, were found dead yesterday in the Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles. Sources say the Oscar-nominated director and his wife had been stabbed, and the Los Angeles Police Department is on the scene and investigating. The family confirmed the deaths in a statement saying, quote, "It's with profound sorrow that we announce the tragic passing of Michelle and Rob Reiner. We are heartbroken by this sudden loss, and we ask for privacy during this unbelievably difficult time." Authorities describe the situation as a, quote, family incident. Well-placed sources say that authorities were summoned by one of the Reiner children, believed to be daughter Romy Reiner, who lives in the neighborhood. Sources say the Reiner son, Nick, may have been questioned, but no suspect has been named. I should mention for clarity's sake, my family had been very close to the Reiner family many years ago. Carl Reiner, famous Carl Reiner, who died about 4.5 years ago, was very dear friends with my grandfather, and my grandfather used to babysit Rob Reiner when he was a child. So I just want to make sure for clarity's sake we talk about that, though we had not been in touch with the family for many years. 7:08, and a man who carried out an attack in Syria that killed 3 U.S. citizens had joined Syria's internal security forces as a base security guard 2 months earlier and was recently reassigned amid suspicions that he might be affiliated with the Islamic State group IS or ISIS. The attack Saturday in the Syrian desert near the historic city of Palmyra killed 2 U.S. service members and 1 American civilian and injured 3 others. It also wounded 3 members of the Syrian security forces who clashed with the gunman. Syria has arrested at least 5 people in connection with the attack. The incident comes at a delicate time as the U.S. military is expanding its cooperation with Syrian security forces. President Trump has vowed retaliation against Syrian ISIS terrorists for the attack. In Australia, Islamist terrorists there murdered at least 15 people in an attack yesterday on a Hanukkah celebration at popular Sydney beach, Bondi Beach. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese was quick to call it an act of anti-Semitic terrorism. The numbers could have been far worse, though, if not for the brave action of a 43-year-old man named Ahmed Al-Ahmed, who is a fruit shop owner who confronted the shooter face to face. The gun pointed at him. And in doing this, he saved many other lives by disarming that gunman. Islamist anti-Semitism has been on the rise in Australia, even as local Jewish groups have decried the lack of support from Australian authorities. Worldwide, Australia has experienced the biggest increase in anti-Semitic attacks in 2024, while the world recorded a slight decrease in those acts during that time. Australia recorded over 1,700 anti-Semitic incidents, and an increase. Australia is a country of 28 million people and is home to about 117,000 Jews. The U.S. Department of the Treasury has issued new guidance allowing governors to opt in early to the federal tax credit scholarship program for K-12 students. The program was created under President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill. Lets governors decide whether children in their state can access these new education scholarships when the law takes effect next January of 2027. The scholarships are funded by private donations, and donors get a 100% federal tax credit of up to $1,700 a year. Families could use the funds for tuition, tutoring to address learning loss, special needs services, or educational technology. Supporters say the program empowers parents to choose the school or services that best meet their child's needs. New Jersey Attorney General Matthew Platkin is joining 19 other states in a lawsuit to block the Trump administration's new policy that would discourage H-1B visa applications by imposing a $100,000 fee on them. Platkin says the fee is unlawful and would cause serious harm to New Jersey's hospitals, schools, and scientific research by worsening the ongoing staffing shortages. The administration's order was issued in September. It would increase costs for employers who rely on H-1B workers. The Trump administration argues the program in its current state takes away jobs from U.S. citizens, allowing institutions to hire talent from other countries for pennies on the dollar, replacing them with less expensive H-1B visa holders from other countries. A coalition of states led by California and Massachusetts is asking the court to block the policy before it can take effect. Time now is coming up on 7:12. When we come back, we will have more news for you. Of course, more on the death of Rob Reiner and his wife. In terms of the weather, it's still very cold. Excuse my lack of voice that you hear. We're going to have partly cloudy and windy conditions this morning, so make sure you bundle up because a lot of that snow that fell over the weekend will remain as ice on the ground. It'll become cloudier through the day, the chance of flurries or snow again at some point in the day. Highs today around 30 degrees. Actually, Mike is saying maybe about 28. He doesn't think it's going to hit 30, and I'm with him. The full Garden State forecast when we return. You're watching ONNJ Mornings. We're streamed daily on Roku, Fire TV, News On, Samsung TV Plus, Apple TV, Facebook, and X. And now we're streamed live on Local Now, Substack, Rumble, and Twitch. Just go to twitch.tv/ONNJ. It is a Monday morning, very chilly, 16 degrees. I'm Ken Rosato. You're watching ONNJ Mornings. We will be back in 2 minutes. Don't go away.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings for your Monday at 7:15. Partly cloudy and windy this morning. It'll become cloudier through the day. The chance of flurries or snow. Highs in the upper 20s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has the Garden State forecast for you.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Mike, my thermometer says it's 16 degrees in Trenton.
Oh, yeah.
Is that
And
possible?
so cold. And it's the wind. It's this biting, icy chill. You know, we had the snow over the weekend, impressive amounts, but it was like a magical snowfall, Ken. You can kind of sit back on a Sunday morning, sip the hot cocoa, go, don't have to go out to work today. But now is like the real deal where you have to endure the biting cold because it's even colder than it was yesterday with the wind. And of course, watch out for all the icy spots as you go crunch, crunch, crunch on the sidewalk and the parkway and then the walkways rather, on top of all of these salt and treated roadways. So with temperatures beginning in the teens, we're only climbing to 29 or 30 degrees. It is not going to get above freezing today or even tomorrow for that matter. It stays very cold and we'll keep that wind chill howling all through the afternoon into tonight because tomorrow morning, even with less wind at 7 a.m., we're still going to feel like it's in the single digits to the teens throughout the early morning. Now, tomorrow afternoon feels like the upper 20s, again, not much better, but it's the wind shift and that wind direction pushes in off of the water, which helps places along the coast warm up more quickly. And that's why I think we'll be sitting pretty in the 40s as soon as Wednesday afternoon, where we'll see a little bit of a thaw, especially down the shore where you folks there got hit a little bit harder. Up to 6 to 8 inches of snow fell throughout the day yesterday. So there's our wind gust by Wednesday afternoon, 22-mile-per-hour winds out of the south and west. And it's that wind direction that's key, pushing in some of that milder weather. It's cold today, but it's clear. And I think there's the threat of maybe a passing flurry, like Ken mentioned. A lot of that coming off of the Great Lakes. You can see some upstate there maybe work their way down into the Poconos and possibly just skirt by, say, Warren and Sussex County. A lot of that happening later on this evening, but most of it stays on the Pennsylvania side of the border. Going into tomorrow morning, cold again and stays chilly through the rest of the early part of this week. But again, by Wednesday, Thursday timeframe, the afternoon is above freezing. The overnight, you see 6 a.m. here, back down below the freezing mark. So we'll likely see that thaw refreeze cycle where a lot of the black ice occurs. So keep an eye to just your footing getting out starting each day until that thaw reappears. I think by Thursday night, that's our next opportunity to see a little bit of wet weather. And this should be plain rain because it'll be really mild by then in the upper 40s, even low 50s. And that milder trend sticks around going into the upcoming weekend. We're actually slightly higher than average for this weekend. So I think the thaw that starts on Wednesday, even though there's a refreeze each night, we should slowly see this snowpack melt away into this weekend, Ken, especially with the amount of sun we get each and every day.
As we say in Italian, arrucchiere. I got a little arrucchiere in my throat over here. I don't know if all of Italy does that. The northern Italians call it arrucchiere. That means a rough voice. All right, sir. Appreciate it. We'll check back with you. 16 degrees in Trenton right now. It is 18 degrees northern New Jersey. We are talking, and again, the wind is what kills you, as Mike was saying, because 16 makes it feel like zero. It's really nasty when you open that door. But I think this is from all the dry heat in the house. That definitely impacts the voice. So try to make sure you don't do what I did. Make sure you have humidifiers going in your house. That will prevent this and prevent ashy skin and whatnot. It'll help you a lot. It's healthier. It prevents infections when you have a humidifier going in the winter. In terms of traffic, we have a lot going on. Weather-related stuff all over the highways because a lot of patchy ice on all of the highways. So slow down, please. We have weather-related issues right now at the Ben Franklin Bridge, both directions from Pennsylvania to Camden. All lanes are open. The footwalk will be in a delayed opening. Oh, look at this. We got new stuff popping up. Let's go over to, we have a downpoll first off on 206, both directions north of Eggert Crossing Road in Lawrence Township with all lanes closed. We have delays on I-80 eastbound by exit 42. Littleton Road in Parsippany Troy Hills. That's just volume and snow. Now we have two different issues to talk about on the crossings. Let's go over if we can now. Oh boy, things are popping up, Pam, right on the screen as we're talking. Let's first mention what's going on at the Lincoln Tunnel. So the Lincoln Tunnel right now, we have a crash that is, let me just see what the update just gave us. Okay, so apparently there is a crash in the center tube that may have just been cleared. You see how they're starting to crawl there? Just starting to crawl. So last time we showed you this video, they were not moving at all. But now the delays, by the way, back up all the way to Route 3 eastbound by the western spur of the turnpike. We had this crash in the center tube, and that was causing everything to stop. Still, it's kind of stop and go. Doesn't look like that's your best bet. Try to avoid taking the Lincoln Tunnel in. Try to do the Holland or the GWB if you can. But this is the problem right now. We have issues on the turnpike too with a vehicle fire on the outer roadway northbound north of interchange 8, Route 33 in Cranberry. All lanes open. The vehicle is on the right shoulder. Now, the Holland, again, not a bad deal, 30 minutes in. Look at the GWB upper and lower level, and we just got an update on this, too. Apparently, now there is, it's moving. It's about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Apparently, it's just, they're just saying volume delays, GWB, but it's going to cost you 40 to 45 minutes in. Remember, today is a gridlock alert day, holiday week, Christmas week. This happens. You got Hanukkah, first full day of Hanukkah today. Happy Hanukkah, by the way. So just beware, give yourselves extra travel time as you make your way in. It is 7:22. Airports throughout the Northeast faced horrendous delays. If you had relatives flying in for the holidays yesterday, or if you did it yourself, you know this was because of the weekend snowstorm that dumped up to 8 inches of snow on the tri-state. Newark Liberty International faced delays of over 4 hours. LaGuardia had a ground stop with delays of nearly 6 hours. JFK also placed under a ground stop with delays of just over 3 hours. Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital in New Brunswick is using a new tool called ion robotic bronchoscopy to help doctors find lung cancer earlier. Lung cancer is the deadliest cancer in the country, and catching it early can make a big difference in treatment and survival. This new robotic technology helps doctors reach very tiny spots deep in the lungs that are usually very hard to access, allowing them to take a sample through a quick, minimally invasive procedure. Doctors say it can lead to earlier diagnoses and better outcomes, especially for people at high risk, like longtime smokers. The hospital also offers a lung cancer screening program with low-dose CT scans. It helps smokers quit the habit and offers support services to guide patients through testing. 7:23. 6 teenagers were hurt in a mass shooting at a Brooklyn Sweet 16 birthday bash early yesterday, and police say a pair of gunmen are still on the loose. The incident happened at a catering hall in Cypress Hills just after 1 a.m. Kind of late for 15 and 16-year-olds, don't you think? When police arrived, they found the victims with gunshot wounds. Sources say the shooting started over a dispute regarding a girl. The kids shot were all 15 and 16. Come on, parents. Do not let your 15-year-olds go to a party at 1:15 in the morning. What are you thinking? It is 7:24 now. Actor and Montclair native Peter Green was found dead. Police found the 60-year-old Pulp Fiction and Mask star lying face down inside his apartment on Manhattan's Lower East Side Friday afternoon. There was a handwritten note found near the actor, though the official cause of death has not yet been announced. Horrible video now. This may be a little disturbing. Just give you a heads up. It shows the horrifying moment. A pickleball player fell to his death after climbing over a safety rail to retrieve a ball at a sports center in Malaysia. Surveillance video shows the 32-year-old player leaping over a safety rail at a Kuala Lumpur pickleball facility back on December 2nd. The video then shows him jumping onto a mesh netting that was covering an open gap. Why, if you have an open gap that is 20 to 30 feet in the air, would you just put a mesh netting? That would not pass zoning here. But nonetheless, they did that. The man jumped down thinking it would support his weight so he can get the pickleball. It did not. It ripped. And he plunged 30 feet to his death. Other players rushed to the railing before heading to the first floor, and that's when they discovered he had died. 7:25, officials in Providence, Rhode Island announced the 24-year-old U.S. Army vet they had in custody has been released. They now believe they questioned the wrong person. This after a suspect opened fire at Brown University over the weekend, killing at least 2 people and hurting 9 others. The attack took place Saturday afternoon at the Ivy League school. prompting a shelter-in-place order that forced students and faculty to spend the night on campus. Police originally used cell phone tracking data to find the man who was a person of interest, but now they are starting from scratch. 7:26 is our time. Did you buy your Powerball ticket yet? Well, nobody had all 5 numbers and the Powerball Saturday night, so tonight's top prize will be for at least $1.1 billion. Now, if a mere $1 million would whet your whistle, there was one Morristown winner, congratulations, my new best friend, of $1 million on Saturday. To get 1 million, you get all 5 numbers, but you don't get the Powerball. By the way, if you add Power Play for an extra dollar, I think that goes from $1 to $2 million. So it's always worth that extra buck because then you get an extra million out of it. 5 New Jersey tickets sold were worth $50,000. So the Garden State has some lucky people. If the number does not go above 1.1 billion for the top prize tonight, it would be the 6th highest contest prize in Powerball history with a cash value of $503.4 million. What would you do with that kind of money? Would you change? Would you quit your job? See, I love my job. I know it sounds stupid. You would stay. Yes, I would stay. I would do what I'm doing. But it would make a lot of things in life a lot easier, right? You never have to have in the back of your mind, am I going to make that rent payment, that mortgage payment, things like that would just come easier. But it would be fun. I'm one of those kooky people. I know our director Pam is this way, and I'm sure Mike is too. I'm one of those kooky people who would have joy in just going around the world and donating. Just saying, here's a million, here's a million, here's a million. That would, right? Pam says so. That would be fun. And by the way, what you see on your screen there, those are the actual numbers. So check your ticket. You could have a lesser prize. Any prize is a good prize, though. All right, it is now 16 chilly degrees at 7:27. When we come back, a local New Jersey artist earns 2 Grammy nominations. We will welcome Verona resident Charu Sari. Partly cloudy, windy this morning, cloudier through the day. Chance of flurries or snow, highs in the upper 20s. Coming right back.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
Very good morning to you. It is 7:30, Monday, December 15th. Welcome back to ONNJ Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. Our phone lines are wide open right now, 888-658-0234, 888-658-0234. 0234. Partly cloudy, windy, bitter cold today. It'll become cloudier through the day. Chance of flurries or snow. Highs barely making it out of the upper 20s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta will be here in a moment. He has the full Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Mike, I went to open the door, but even my door won't open. It is so cold. It said, screw you, go back to bed. I don't know when
It
that
was
happens. That's bad.
it was refreshing because the dog, right? We have a black lab and he loves the snow. He's got the double coat, so he goes outside. And yesterday, to see like the cheer, he was running back and forth doing zoomies in the yard, loved it, and it was nice to see. There are some young at heart, right? But the rest of us were just kind of old curmudgeons, like, ugh, we got a shovel, got to clear the car off the snow, or the snow off the car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did I share my quickie with our townhouse that we moved to? We moved to a townhouse a year ago. All
Mm.
excited that, oh, now that we're in a townhouse, we don't have to worry about cleaning the snow. We only found out after we signed the lease and everything
Uh-huh.
that this townhouse, if you don't have at least 3 inches of snow, you're responsible for clearing it. Now, fortunately, I think we got like 3.1 inches, so I think we're not responsible today. But if you don't have at least 3 inches, you got to clean it. I'm like, 90% of the snowfall is under 3 inches. Exactly. So there we go. There you have it.
Yep. I know. I've heard that before from other folks who, if it's a little minor snowfall, you have to take care of it. And I was like, come on, what's the point? You don't want to have to
Exactly.
deal with it. If you wanted, you'd move into a house, right? And then find the neighborhood kid that is walking around with his shovel and pull him off the street and say, hey, you want to do my steps? But here we are. And yet, those in South Jersey, Monmouth and Ocean County, really got walloped with a good thumping snow, especially yesterday morning, as the totals from Manahawkin down to Atlantic City came in up to 9 inches. There was several extra inches of snow that you are enduring this morning, thanks to, of course, that heavier amount that fell yesterday. Now, with the wind gusts that are around today, it's still very cold, it's still very gusty. We likely won't see any blowing snow just because it kind of all froze in place. It was a very wet consistency that compacted onto itself. So while today's average high, 45 degrees, we're not getting there till at least Wednesday afternoon. It's going to be a while that we're in the deep freeze going into the next several days. So with highs today, not leaving the 20s. It's a very cold finish. You see a couple of these flurries from the lakes try to make their way into New Jersey. I think they kind of stop at Pennsylvania, but you could run into a flake or flurry tonight in northern New Jersey. And then tomorrow morning, another shot of cold air. It's Wednesday morning where it's not as nippy. Temperatures climb back into the mid 30s by the afternoon, maybe even touch 40. But you can see just how much instability there is. There's enough flurry activity around that New Jersey could get a rogue flake throughout this afternoon. Then into Wednesday, before the cold front comes through, it's another shot of cool weather. We're sunny throughout the afternoon into Thursday, but then here's our next line of rain that comes in Thursday night into Friday. And this is probably going to start off wet, maybe finish as a little bit of snow in the hills of New Jersey before cold weather takes over again for the weekend. But it's not as terribly chilly. In fact, I think we stay above freezing going into the weekend. But it's that thaw and refreeze cycle each afternoon. 50s on Thursday and Friday, down into the 20s overnight. Only until Saturday and Sunday do we see those temperatures cool off back into the 30s and 40s, with temperatures in the 20s overnight. Even the shore points, you do the thaw refreeze cycle each day. Better chance of rain for you on Friday. I don't think it's going to wash too much away, but there'll still be enough of a little bit of a dirty snowpack around going into the weekend, with temperatures this weekend back in the mid 40s, which is actually not so bad considering how much cold weather we've had, Ken.
Oh, heck yeah. 40 sounds
Mm-hmm.
delightful.
It
How often
does.
do we get to use the word delightful? I mean, honestly. All right, sir. It sounds like a guy named Ned on Miami Beach in 1938. That's delightful. I'll have two and bring that with a pina colada. I'm sorry. I don't know why that comes into my mind. Thank you very much, Mike. We will check back with you, sir. It is a nippy 16 degrees right now in Trenton. 18 degrees northern New Jersey. It hasn't budged. I think the thermometers are frozen solid. It is 19 degrees in Cape May and it's 15 degrees in Vineland. But again, as Mike was saying, the wind is what makes it feel all the worse, because it's one thing if you bundle up and you could kind of keep the cold air off your body, but when that wind bites, goes right through the clothes, it's awful. So definitely wear extra layers today. That's what you got to do. All right, in terms of traffic, we have a lot of it. Weather-related issues. The Ben Franklin Bridge, both directions, we have delays. That's between Philadelphia and Camden. All lanes are open but delayed, and the foot walk also is on a delayed opening. And that's because of ice. They want to make sure it's going to be safe to walk over. We have a vehicle fire on the New Jersey Turnpike now. Outer roadway northbound, north of interchange 8 in Cranberry. All lanes are open, but the vehicle is off to the right shoulder. Down pole on US 206. Both directions north of Eggert Crossing Road in Lawrence. All lanes are closed. Now, we have issues also on the Jersey Turnpike, local lanes northbound from exit 71, Route 4 to the GWB. That is causing major problems now, making your way to the GWB that way. But before we show the GWB, let's talk about what we have over by 495, making your way into the Lincoln Tunnel. We should let you know that this has been cleared. We had a crash in the center tube that has now been picked up, cleared away, so you can see that your 495 approach to the Helix is 495, but just passed by that sunshine on the upper right. That's where it curves around and gets you into the Lincoln Tunnel. It is now moving once again. That was stopped half an hour ago. But the damage is done, basically, because you have delays from the Turnpike and Route 3 now making your way to 495 into Manhattan. Gridlock alert day in Manhattan today and all week long. You are asked to take mass transit or just avoid Manhattan, work from home if you can because of this. Holland Tunnel is much better. It's only about 20 minutes in. The Lincoln there that you saw is now 35 to 40. GWB, upper and lower levels, heavy but moving. This is good. It's better than it was a little earlier. You could see it's a pretty good flow, especially on the upper level on the right. That'll cost you about 35 to 40 minutes into Manhattan. And so anyway, they're working on that. We'll see through the morning. But again, give yourselves extra travel time this week because of the issues that we have naturally with everybody in town. Have you been in town to see the tree yet, by the way, yet? Just out of curiosity. It's great to see, but the closer you get to Christmas, it gets to a point where you can't even walk on the sidewalk. What ends up happening is there are so many people shoulder to shoulder that you literally are, it's impossible to even cross the street. Sometimes it could take you 40 to 45 minutes to get across. So it could be pretty ugly making your way across. Pam, we could go back to A block if we could. All right, so let's do A block. Right now it is 7:38. Oh no, never mind. Never mind A block. We have a guest. We have a guest that we're going to bring on, folks. So that's what we're doing right now. Just bear with us for a second. 7:38 is our time. As Mike was saying, we're going to have partly cloudy skies today. Could be cloudier later in the day. There's a chance of flurries or even full-fledged snow, depending on where you are and how late in the day we're talking. But the temps never get out of the upper 20s, and the wind is going to make it feel a lot colder than that. Pam, are we going? Pamela? Yes? All right. There is an amazing New Jersey artist whose work is making waves across the global music landscape. Verona resident Charu Suri, one of the very few Indian women in jazz, has just earned 2 Grammy nominations this year, one for her album Cheyenne in the Best Contemporary Instrumental Album category, another for her work as co-producer and pianist on Sounds of Kumba in the Best Global Music Album category. Charu is a leading figure in the rise of Indian jazz fusion, blending ragas, chamber jazz, classical, and contemporary soundscapes to create a musical style that is entirely her own. We say good morning, Charu Suri.
Good morning, Ken. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
So glad to have you on. I used to live right next door in North Caldwell, and I love Verona, and Verona produces a lot of good, talented people like yourself. So it's just an honor to have you on. So I have to ask, when you get 2 Grammy nominations, what goes through your mind?
I screamed, I cried. Actually, Ken, I'm on technically 3 Grammy-nominated records. I can't say I'm a Grammy-nominated. I'm on 3 Grammy-nominated records this year. The third one is a children's album that I played on and I composed called "Her Story" by Flor Bromley, and one of them is of course my own. I didn't know what to do. I just was in a surreal mode when I heard the news, when people kept saying congratulations and then congratulations and even more congratulations. It was such an ecstatic morning in my household and feeling very blessed indeed.
And well deserved. Congratulations on all three. Your
Thank
album
you.
Cheyenne is described as a love letter to ancient ragas as medicine. What was the
Yeah.
inspiration behind that?
So I'm trying to make ragas, which are ancient modal scales. They originated in India over 4,000 years ago, more mainstream. So a lot of my work with jazz blends Indian ragas and jazz. And my previous album, Rags and Ragas, I had worked with the likes of Steve Gadd and John Patitucci. And Cheyenne is very different. It's a call for us to slow down and embrace our humanity. They are all using evening ragas. And the most beautiful thing about ragas, as opposed to a Western scale, which is like C major or G major, you may have heard of
Right.
those, they're supposed to be played at a certain time of day. And given all the stress and unrest in the world, I wanted to compose something that truly healed people to help them sleep better, to help them be in touch with themselves. And that's how Cheyenne was born.
You know, it's amazing. We're only now discovering how certain frequencies impact our brain waves, could prevent Alzheimer's, could prevent cancer. I mean, we're learning all sorts of things that clearly Indian people knew thousands of years ago. But we always
Yeah.
think we're so arrogant. We always think we know more now. We're at the pinnacle. That is
Yeah.
just human nature to think, right? That we're smarter than anybody else. Meanwhile, even if, and not to get religious, open the Bible. 5,000 years ago, people were getting divorced and having arguments too. It's just that they may not have had air conditioning. It just,
Yeah.
that's the thing. We always think that we're at this superior level. And ragas, it's just, I have listened to it because I was raised in New Rochelle, which has a
Oh,
huge
well.
Indian population. Most of my
Yeah.
friends growing up were Indian, and like right over from India. And so I had heard ragas and the scales because I studied guitar back then. Sorry to get into all the
Oh my
personals, but
God.
it is just amazing. I love Indian music. I love the idea that you have now had this fusion of jazz, which I'm also in love with, and Indian music. So that's why I was so excited to have you on. So tell
We
me
should
about how
have you
your
on our next album, Ken.
you let me know. You let me know. I used to have a voice before I lost it. How did your experiences influence the sound and storytelling of Sounds of Kumla? Tell me about that.
So, Sounds of Kumba was such an enormously amazing and sacred project. I received a call from the composer Siddhant Bhatia, who is based in Delhi, to come and be part of an album that commemorates the largest spiritual gathering on earth that happens once every 144 years. And so I keep telling myself, it's either now or never. And in
Right.
that place, which is the confluence of rivers, okay, are you ready for it? Over 550 million people came over the course of 1 month to celebrate humanity, to be at one, to celebrate peace, love, and harmony. And then I was called to be part of this epic album to commemorate all of that in the form of music. And I honestly felt that there could be no higher calling, so I performed on 4 tracks. I produced the whole album with my co-producers Jim Kimo West, Madi Das, Ron Korb, Raghav Mehta, and Devraj, and we together brought this album that has been making the airways all over the world, and it just got nominated for Global Music Album. We brought together 50 artists from all over the world for that album.
I love it. Absolutely
Yeah.
fascinating. And just the talent is amazing. Tell us, please, what your website is for we can so we can get more information.
If you follow me on charusuri.com, there is also a sign up sheet. I tour all over the world. You can put your email address, and hopefully I'll come and play at a place near you. And I'm really excited to go to the Grammys to really represent the voices of India and also of women, because I'm the only female nominee in my category. I'm the only female producer on this album, Sounds of Kumba, and Flor Bromley's album, which is nominated, celebrates fearless women. And I feel like everything is coming together, and I'm so, so blessed to be able to do this.
Well, you are blessing the world with your talent, and God bless you and happy holidays. We
Thank
are
you.
very honored to have you on, and we're honored to have you as a New Jersey person. So
It,
now
it's
we'll
my
say
honor.
3 times. Oh, please come back. Please come back.
Thank
Unfortunately, we can't play the music on the air because of the copyright and whatnot. But please come back. The 3-time Grammy Award nominated Verona resident Charu Suri. All the best to you, and it's an honor again. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you, Ken, for having me.
You bet. And we are coming right back.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
Welcome back to ONNJ Jersey Mornings for your Monday. It is 7:48, and we're going to have partly cloudy, windy conditions today. It'll become cloudier through the day, maybe a chance of flurries or snow. Highs upper 20s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta will be here in just a sec with the Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Well, Mike, it is so cold that the ice doesn't want to be outside.
I don't think
I
anybody
was
wants to
trying
be
to,
outside
I,
this
I
morning.
really stretched. I stretched
It's
for that one. I'm sorry. I was like, I think I just tore a sleeve. I stretched so far for that.
Well, regardless, you're probably gonna have, if you're the tears from crying because it's so cold, they freeze to your cheeks by the time you walk down the block. That's the type of cold we're talking. Even in northern New Jersey, where we start off with some sunshine now, but the clouds come back through the afternoon, keeping us locked in that cold with temperatures not even leaving the 20s. There from Sussex, 28 is your high, 27 in Newton, and 28 in Morristown. As far as this afternoon, we still have a little little bit of a drought ongoing, even though it doesn't really count right now. Thinks there's a healthy snowpack on the ground. But there, we are anticipating is over the next 2 weeks for temperatures to warm up significantly, even for portions of New Jersey. A lot of that heat coming from the desert southwest, and while the average chances of rain remain pretty much the same, maybe slightly below through Christmas Day, anticipate a slightly warmer than average finish to the month. That'll be nice for a change. So here we are with the harsh cold that takes us into the middle of the week. A little bit milder through Thursday and Friday. Just note there'll be some wet weather coming in late Thursday night into Friday morning, and temperatures remain chilly into the weekend, but not as harshly cold. Even the shore points are a little bit better, with temperatures that feel milder going into the end of the work week, Friday and Saturday also. Highs climb into the low 50s, and then we're right back into the 30s and 40s come this weekend. So a little bit better headed into the weekend, Ken.
All right. Thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate that. It is 7:50, and we have a chilly 16 degrees in Trenton, 15 degrees now in Vineland, and it's 19 degrees at Cape May, 18 in northern New Jersey. In terms of traffic right now, let's go over for Ken to I-80, Pam, that I-80 shot at Fox Hill, if you have it. So this is what we have on I-80 right now. Look at that, moving really slowly. Disabled tractor trailer. This is west of exit 42, 202 Littleton Road in Parsippany Troy Hills. The center lane of 3 lanes now closed. We have a crash on I-78 as well. And of course, it just updated. Here we go. Crash on 78 eastbound, east of exit 26, Rattlesnake Bridge Road in Bedminster. The left lane of 3 lanes closed there. We have a down pole on 206 in both directions north of Eggert. And that is in, we're up. Things are literally updating as we speak, right before my eyes, folks. Here we go. North of Eggert. Sorry about that. This is in Lawrence. All lanes are closed there. Now we have a disabled tractor trailer on the New Jersey Turnpike, and that is at exit interchange 8 rather in Cranberry. All lanes are open. Vehicle on the right shoulder, and a disabled vehicle on the Garden State northbound north of exit 147 Clinton Avenue, East Orange, with the left lane blocked. Weather-related issues now at the border of Pennsylvania and New Jersey. So we have an issue with the Ben Franklin Bridge causing delays both directions from Philadelphia to Camden. And the foot walk is on a delayed opening there. Let's go over to the Hudson River crossing, shall we? We have a gridlock alert in Manhattan today. So if you can work from home or use mass transit, we have problems at the Lincoln Tunnel that have been lifted. They tell us that now things are reopened, but slow. So it's going to cost you about 35 minutes into the Lincoln, 25 to 30 at the Holland. GWB 8095 approach upper and lower level is moving, but slowly, about 40 minutes into Manhattan at this hour. 7:52, and in Australia, Islamist terrorists murdered at least 15 people in an attack yesterday on a Hanukkah celebration at a popular Sydney beach, Bondi Beach. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese was quick to call it an act of anti-Semitic terrorism. The numbers could have been far worse, though, if not for the brave action of a 43-year-old man named Ahmed Al-Ahmed, who is a fruit shop owner, who confronted the shooter face on, grabbing the gun as it was pointing at him. He saved many other lives. Islamist anti-Semitism has been on the rise in Australia, even as local Jewish groups have decried the lack of support from authorities. Worldwide, Australia experienced the biggest increase in anti-Semitic attacks in 2024. While the world was recording a slight decrease in anti-Semitic acts during that time, Australia recorded 1,713 anti-Semitic incidents, which is an increase. Australia is a country of 28 million people and is home to about 117,000 Jews. 7:53, the U.S. Department of the Treasury has issued new guidance allowing governors to opt in early to the federal tax credit scholarship program for K through 12 students. The program, created under President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, lets governors decide whether children in their state can access these new education scholarships when the law takes effect January 1st of 2027. The scholarships are funded by private donations, and donors get a 100% federal tax credit of up to $1,700 a year. Families can use the funds for tuition, tutoring to address learning loss, special needs services, or educational technology. Supporters say the program empowers parents to choose the school or services that best meet their child's needs. 7:54, New Jersey Attorney General Matthew Platkin is joining 19 other states in a lawsuit to block the Trump administration's new policy that would discourage H-1B visa applications by imposing a $100,000 additional fee on them. Platkin says that fee is unlawful and would cause serious harm to New Jersey's hospitals, schools, and scientific research by worsening ongoing staffing shortages. The administration's order was issued in September. It would increase costs for employers who rely on H-1B workers like teachers, nurses, physicians, and researchers. The Trump administration argues the program in its current state is taking away jobs from U.S. citizens, allowing institutions to hire talent from other countries for pennies on the dollar of what they would pay a U.S. citizen. In many cases, U.S. companies have fired hundreds or even thousands of employees and replaced them with less expensive H-1B visa holders from other countries. This happened at Disney, where people were told if you want your severance, you have to train your replacement. And people who were making $200,000 and $300,000 a year were let go and replaced with people making $100,000 a year. So that's how, I mean, you can understand, I'm not blaming the corporations. They look at that and say, this is a great way to save millions of dollars. But the problem is people who are working hard, worked for a company many years to achieve that status, lose their careers and they can never get hired again at anything comparable. So the folks at Massachusetts and California were the attorneys general who led the court in blocking the policy before it can take effect. We'll see what happens. 7:56, Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital in New Brunswick is using a new tool called ion robotic bronchoscopy to help doctors find lung cancer earlier. Lung cancer is the deadliest form of cancer in our country. Catching it early can make the difference between survival or death. This new robotic technology helps doctors reach very small spots deep in the lungs, usually hard to access, allowing them to take a sample through a quick, minimally invasive procedure. Doctors say it can lead to earlier diagnoses and better outcomes, especially for people at high risk like longtime smokers. The hospital also offers a lung cancer screening program with low-dose CT scans. It helps smokers quit the habit, offers support services to guide patients through testing. And 6 teens were hurt in a mass shooting at a Brooklyn Sweet 16 birthday bash early yesterday. Police say a pair of gunmen still on the loose. The incident happened at a catering hall in Cypress Hills just after 1 a.m. When police arrived, they found the victims with gunshot wounds. Sources say the shooting started over a girl. The kids shot were all 15 and 16. And video shows a horrifying moment. A pickleball player fell to his death after climbing over a safety rail to retrieve a ball at a sports center in Malaysia. Surveillance video shows the 32-year-old player leaping over the safety rail at a Kuala Lumpur pickleball facility December 2nd. The video shows him jumping onto mesh netting that covered an open gap. It tore under his weight and he plunged 30 feet to his death. And finally, did you buy your Powerball ticket yet? Nobody had all 5 numbers in the Powerball Saturday night. Tonight's prize goes to $1.1 billion. When we come back, Mountain Creek is officially open for the winter season. This year's their 60th. Well, it's
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
Very good morning to you. It is 8 a.m. Monday, December 15th, 2025. Welcome back to ONNJ Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. Phone lines are open at 888-658-0234. Partly cloudy, windy. It'll become cloudier through the day. The chance of flurries or snow once again. Highs upper 20s. It'll feel a lot colder than that. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has the full Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Mike, is what you're saying that this is a bad idea to go outside, find a light pole, and stick my tongue to it?
You might just your tongue might freeze before it gets to the light pole. That's how much cold air is in place. It is this harsh chill, Ken, that doesn't seem like it wants to quit. At least until Wednesday, we will be at or below the freezing mark across New Jersey. Right now, anywhere from 10 to 19 degrees, even a 16-degree reading in Toms River. So that's the actual air temperature. The wind chill at this hour, 8:01, still feels like 6 in Newark. A harsh wind blowing right there down Broad Street. 9 in Hackensack, 4 in Toms River. Very chilly. And remember, it's still fall. Winter doesn't begin until this Saturday. Throughout the next few days, plan on this gusty wind to be around today. The worst of the wind is upon us with those gusts up to about 25 or 30 miles per hour, obviously making it feel 20 degrees colder than yesterday. I mean, it really, really is a biting wind, adding to that chill. And then throughout the afternoon, like Ken mentioned, some clouds return after a nice sunny start. So we're clear to begin. The clouds work in by this afternoon, specifically in northern New Jersey. A lot of that is residual lake effect snow flurries that try to work their way across the Pennsylvania border, but I think kind of stop in the Poconos. And then tomorrow, another round of brutal cold, teens and 20s. But it's this wind that takes in from the south and west beginning late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, helps temperatures rise into the low 40s throughout the day Wednesday. That will allow for the beginnings of a thaw, but then we see the refreeze every night as we're back down to the 20s, as you can see going throughout Thursday and Friday morning. So the next few days, the harsh cold is upon us until Wednesday, and then we're up to around 50 by Thursday, probably not long enough to allow for all of the snow to melt away, so there'll be just enough melting to make it slushy, make it gross, and then it all refreezes at night when we're back down into the 20s. So fun times ahead here in New Jersey this weekend.
Indeed. Thank you, Mike. And by the way, it is so cold out, a lot of our traffic cameras, we notice like thirds of the traffic cameras are out. Every time you go to punch up one of the traffic cameras, that's what you see. It's like,
Man,
go home, we're done.
It's the
All
snooze
right,
button.
so we'll figure it out. Exactly. We're not interested, and nobody's going up on that pole right now to fix that camera.
Nope.
All right, Mike, we'll check back with you, sir. Thank you. Stay warm. The temperature now is 16 degrees in Trenton. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, that one, Jack. Caught that one back. Sorry about that. It is 16 degrees in Trenton. It is 15 degrees right now in Vineland and 18 degrees in northern New Jersey. In terms of traffic, we have a lot of it. Gridlock alert day in Manhattan, so please take mass transit or give yourselves a lot of extra travel time going in. People are going in to see the tree, to do their shopping. It is a mess in terms of traffic. So right now we have an issue with a crash on the Garden State Parkway local lanes northbound, north of exit 114, Red Hill Road in Homedale. All lanes are open, but bumper to bumper through there. Staying on the Garden State at exit 147, we have a disabled vehicle northbound by Clinton Avenue, East Orange, with the right lane blocked. Route 42 southbound north of exit 10A by Black Horse Pike in Gloucester. The right lane and ramp lane are closed. And we have a crash on Route 29 northbound south of Layler Street in Trenton. The right shoulder is closed. Weather-related issues on the Ben Franklin Bridge causing delays both directions between Pennsylvania and New Jersey. All lanes are open. The footwalk is going to be on a delayed opening due to icing. We also want to let you know about issues on the Jersey Turnpike outer roadway northbound. North of interchange 8, we have a disabled tractor trailer, and that is by, let's see, that is by Route 33, Cranberry Township. All lanes open, vehicle on the right shoulder. Over to I-80, I think we have this camera. Disabled tractor trailer I-80 eastbound west of exit 42, Littleton Road. That is causing major delays right now by Parsippany Troy Hills. You can see on the traffic coming toward us. And then we go to I-78 eastbound, east of exit 26, Rattlesnake Bridge Road, Bedminster Township. Left lane of 3 lanes closed there. Your approaches to the Hudson River, Holland is your best bet right now. It's only going to cost you 25, and Lincoln has improved over what it was an hour ago. It's 25 to 30. GWB upper and lower levels, 80-95 approach. Looking a little bumper to bumper on the right side there. That's the upper level. And actually, I think that is a fry. That's not looking bumper to bumper. That's because the camera's frozen. The circle of death. We thought, I'm saying, wow, the vehicles were moving a minute ago. What the hell happened? And that's what the hell happened. The cameras are saying, I'm done. I am done. It is too cold. You come up here and take these pictures. 8:06 is our time right now. And I'll tell you what you do when it's too cold? It's not too cold if you go to a mountainous resort. And Mountain Creek Resort, you see what I did there? Mountain Creek Resort in Vernon has officially opened for the 2025-2026 winter season, and it is their earliest opening yet. That is great news for all you winter sports enthusiasts. This year marks the resort's 60th anniversary with a bunch of new upgrades, and Jackie Serra is the resort marketing manager at Mountain Creek. Jackie, this weekend and this morning is like the perfect ad for you guys because the snow is just like saying, look, you can't go to the beach. You don't want to hang around. It's too cold to shop. Come to Mountain Creek. Oh no, is it me or am I not here? I'm not hearing you. Is it?
I'm good now.
Oh, your mic might be turned. There it is. All right, so let's start again. So Jackie,
Yeah.
tell me about Mountain Creek. You guys are wide open for business, and are you packing? I hope you are.
Yeah, and to have natural snow this early for us is so exciting, especially as we lead into the holiday.
That is good news. Good deal. And on top of it, it's not like you don't have tons of snow guns, but it's always there's something special about that
Yep.
real snow and the way it packs. So is it basically that because of the cold weather, you were able to get the resort open so early this year?
Yeah, we had a pretty large $5 million investment in automated snowmaking that then, allowed us to start earlier. We were able to adjust some snow guns around, and we've got the most terrain open at this point in the year than we've ever had. So we're really excited.
It's a big deal. And this is your 60th anniversary. How are you guys celebrating for Mountain Creek's 60th?
We'll be honoring the history throughout the year. We'll be hosting a 60th anniversary weekend festival on January 24th and 25th with activations in the base area, exclusive parties, and some limited merchandise, and some more coming.
Nice. And talk about the upgrades. So you even have new snowcats. For people that don't know, the snowcats kind of massage the snow, if you will, to make it even, right? So that it's nice to skate. It's sort of like what a Zamboni does to ice. Snowcats do to snow. And I'm not a skier, but that I know. Listen. I'm a very avid go to the ski resort and have a glass of wine at the fireplace while everybody else is breaking their neck skiing. That's who I am. I have a PhD in that. So tell me more about it. So you got new guns, the snowcats, and that's what can make the resort really special, right?
Yeah, right. The new guns allow us to make snow sooner, more efficiently. It also allows us to like make snow in areas where we may have needed it in previous years. And our new snow groomers, they provide like the latest in technology. So our snow groomers who groom the mountain every night can provide the best quality surface and conditions each and every day.
Super. And talk about the different types of passes that you have available this season beyond the standard day pass.
So yeah, we've got day passes, we've got season passes, but our triple play card is by far like our most popular with the best value in the region. It's 3 anytime lift tickets with no blackout dates for just $139.99 for a limited time.
That's amazing. That is a bargain. And talk about what makes Mountain Creek it's the largest ski area, first of all, in the region. So what makes it different, and how many trails are open right now, and what are the hours?
Right now, we've got 16 trails open across both Vernon and Vernon and South Peaks. We are actually 4 peaks wide. So we've got some terrain expansion coming as long as we, keep these cold temperatures. We are open daily as of now, each day from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Nice, nice. And is it's very special to night ski all lit up there? It must be beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's something special for sure.
Yeah, it's a great resort. It's been years, and my fault that it's been years since I've been there, but it is truly a beautiful destination. And then the best part is, whether you're coming from the New York area, Philadelphia, northern New Jersey, southern New York State, it's so easy to drive there. That's the best part. You are accessible to everybody. There's probably 15 million people within an hour of you. You are just the perfect location. And then people can go snow tubing there too, right? Talk about when people can go snow tubing.
Yeah, snow tubing's open Thursdays through Sundays and holidays. It is also now open. It just opened this past Saturday. We've got 8 lanes of classic family fun. It's like sledding, but you don't have to walk up. The magic carpet brings you to the top.
Nice. I love it for lazy asses like me. Excuse me. For lazy individuals like me. That sounds like fun. Talk about Mountain Creek's Hawk's Nest experience.
Our Hawk's Nest experience was new last year. It's the perfect option for anybody looking for a little bit more elevated comfort while at the Vernon base area. It provides private seating to lounge in between like your skiing and snowboarding, food throughout the day. You've got breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then exclusive cash bar and après so that you can wrap up your night with like some champagne toasts.
That is amazing. And you guys are hiring too, in case anybody wants a gig in that beautiful area there.
Oh yeah, we're always hiring, and it's a unique job, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially if you love to be around the ski environment, which I know a lot of people are in love with that. Give us your website for more information, or if people want to get a job there.
Yeah, of course. Everything can be found at mountaincreek.com. You can apply online. You can purchase tickets online. All of it's there.
That is awesome. All right, we love having you on, especially this time of year. Jackie Serra, Resort Marketing Manager at Mountain Creek in Vernon. Thank you for coming on this morning. Happy holidays to you.
Thanks for having me. And we'll see you at the mountain soon.
Oh, yes, I promise. Thank you again. It is
Awesome,
8:13, and when we come back, thank you. It is the last month of the year, and you'll need to file your taxes before you know it. The important business you'll want to wrap up before the end of the month. You're watching ONNJ Mornings. We're back in 2.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big. Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Welcome back to ONNJ Jersey Mornings for your Monday. It's 8:15, partly cloudy, windy this morning. It'll be cloudier through the day. The chance of flurries or snow, highs upper 20s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has your Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Well, the good news is the thermometer in Trenton says we just notched up to 17 whole degrees, Mike.
17
We're
degrees,
having
and
a
yet
heat
here we are.
wave.
I know. It's incredible to think that it's only December. So what will the rest of winter bring when the coldest part of winter usually doesn't begin for about a month? The good news is, at least in the short term, anticipating for the next 2 weeks slightly higher than average temperatures. That'll be some welcomed news, especially after all of this cold, this harsh cold that's upon us this morning. In fact, with the clear sky right now, transitioning to clouds by the afternoon, we're currently in the teens, on our way into the upper 20s, maybe briefly make it to 30 there in Long Branch and Point Pleasant, but as long as that wind is blowing from the west, and it will throughout the day, that'll keep our wind chill in the single digits throughout the overnight again tonight. So another very cold start to the morning tomorrow, anywhere from 5 to 15, even 5 in Flemington tomorrow morning. By the afternoon, again, feeling like the 20s by the end of the day, but it's Wednesday that sees that wind coming off of the water, primarily from the south and southwest, and that's why into Wednesday night and Thursday, not all that terrible. It'll actually feel a little bit better as we climb into the 40s by the end of the day. Even the forecast wind gusts are pretty harsh today, gusting 20 to 25 miles per hour. It just makes it feel brutal. And then winds relax by the end of the day tomorrow, but start to pick up again, however, blowing from the south throughout Wednesday. That's what helps our temperatures climb above freezing for the first time since yesterday. So a big change in that. And then I think throughout the end of the week into the weekend, we see that milder trend continue. So the snow that's on the ground right now at least lasts for the next 3 to 4 days, but we'll start to see it melt as we head into the weekend with those temperatures well above average. Here's our future cast showing the warmth that comes in by the middle of the week. It's cold until then. We're still in the teens and 20s throughout Wednesday and Wednesday morning. By Thursday, our wake-up temperatures start around freezing, but soar into the upper 40s, even some low 50s by the end of the week into Thursday and Friday, and that will continue that milder trend into the weekend. It also helps bring on some rain for Thursday, and a shower of rain with a little bit more warmth brings in the potential for big melting, so I think we'll see a nice thaw going into Friday. Saturday and Sunday, not as chilly as it could be. In fact, 46 is slightly better than average. So we'll take it, especially with the trend going into next week, a little bit milder. So some good news headed into the holidays, Ken.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Cold, cold, cold. All right, cold, cold now at least. 17 degrees right now. 8:18 is our time. We have 17 in Trenton. It's 19 degrees northern New Jersey, and it's 15 degrees in Vineland at 8:18. Let's take a look now at let's go over to the Garden State Parkway. We have a crash on the Garden State local lanes northbound, north of exit 114, Red Hill Road in Holmdel, and also issues at exit 147. That's just volume from 147 to 149. That is in the Bloomfield Avenue, about 2 mile delay there. Going over to the Ben Franklin Bridge, connecting Philadelphia to Camden, both directions are bumper to bumper right now. A lot of that is due to icing, and the foot walk, we're told, is on a delayed opening there. New Jersey Turnpike inner roadway, we have a crash southbound south of interchange 8, East Windsor, the right lane blocked there. And we have police activity now reported on Route 29 northbound by Layler Street in Trenton. The right lane is closed. Over to 206 down Pole in both directions north of the Eggert crossing in Lawrence. All lanes are closed there. Your Hudson River approaches. We do have a gridlock alert day in effect in Manhattan. The approach to the Holland is your best bet this morning, only 20 to 25 in right now. Lincoln is reporting 25 to 30. GWB upper and lower levels moving, unless we have the spin of death. Do we? We still have death. But my report here is that it is moving. That's the good news. It's going to cost about 35 minutes in. Hey, oh my goodness, it is 8:20. Are you all set for the holidays? Make sure you are, because remember, Christmas is next week already. Today's the first full day of Hanukkah. So it is, in fact, let's go to B block, Pam. For those who haven't done their shopping yet, you're a little late. You might be a little too late if you try to order something, but 'tis the season to get into the stores and do your shopping in person. That might be the way to go today. If you, in fact, are in need of buying gifts, like me, you're the person who waits till the last second. That is what it is. Well, if you were out over the weekend trying to do your shopping, you know that airports throughout the Northeast, yes, Pam, we do. I don't believe Pam. I think Pam is playing games with my brain. All right, everybody, just bear with us here. Bear with us. Excuse me. Our time is 8:21 right now. And all right, here we are. While we're all focused on the holidays, the shopping, the gatherings, the celebrations, of course, there's some important business to take care of before the year wraps up. It may feel far away, but prepping your, pardon me, IRS documents now, that's the way to go. In 2026, the One Big Beautiful Law will bring changes to the tax code. Robin Caruso is partner at national tax firm Prager Metis. We say good morning, Robin.
Good morning, Ken. How are you?
Good. Please forgive my frog voice that I have today. I'm trying to get through it. But there are some major changes in the One Big Beautiful Law. Talk about some of the new tax law changes that we have to look forward to.
Oh, there are so many changes. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act has dramatically reshaped the federal tax code and also government spending. Some of the key changes that we can anticipate seeing for taxpayers are a lot of new credits that we haven't seen before. There's a senior tax credit. Actually, it's a senior deduction, tips deduction, car loan interest, qualifying tips. A lot of new terminology for us that has come out recently. And in the law, there are many provisions that have been extended. There are things that are temporary. So the four I just named, like the senior deduction, which is a $6,000 deduction for people who are 65 and older, or car loan interest, you can deduct up to $10,000 now of your car loan interest, with subject to certain phase out thresholds. So lots of new opportunities available for people.
Yeah. And clearly that's to try to encourage people to buy new cars, because I'm assuming because car loan interest rates were so high that it was cost prohibitive to get a new car or to buy a new house, right? But now by creating a deduction that we never had before, suddenly that's a little incentive, and you get some of that money back. You're not getting all of it back, but a little bit of money back.
What's interesting, it's part of the incentive, but a lot of what I'm seeing, the cars need to be completed, like final production in the United States. So it's encouraging the purchase of cars that are produced in the United States as well.
That's a fantastic way to boost business, keep the money in the country, right? And keep the jobs in the country. And a lot of people don't itemize their deductions. So what should they know about the expanded standard deduction and how it could affect their refunds?
Well, the standard deduction has gone up a little bit. And another thing is it's been made permanent at the higher amounts. Before the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, that's before 2017, we had lower standard deductions. They were a lot less than they are now. And they got raised to closer to 15,000 and 30,000 in 17. For 2025, people married filing jointly will get a $31,500 standard deduction, and single and married filing separate persons will get $15,750. So those are substantial. And the other thing they did interesting is they set them to inflation now. So those will keep increasing year after year to help us.
I love it. And how about for parents and caregivers? What do they need to know about the updated child care and caregiver credits?
Well, the child tax, there are two different credits. There's an enhanced child tax credit right now. It's $2,200 adjusted for inflation. There are higher phase outs that have been made permanent. Interestingly, there's a refundable portion, the additional child tax credit. That's gone up to $1,700. That's a pretty big boost for 2025. And it's also adjusted for inflation going forward. They kept the phase outs the same. So if you're single and you make $200,000, or you're married filing joint and making over $400,000, you'll start to phase out of that credit. But for now, you have it. And then there's also an enhanced.
Yeah, I'd say that's a great deal. I'm sorry to step on you.
Oh, it is. And then there's also an enhanced child and dependent care credit. And the biggest change they made to that is they raised the limit from 35% up to 50% for eligible taxpayers with adjusted gross income of $15,000 or less. And then it slowly phases back down towards that original 20%. That's the minimum that you can get. And that's a great thing. They've also expanded what qualifies for expenses for child care credit a bit. And you can take up to $3,000 for one child or $6,000 for two or more
That's pretty amazing. And we're down to our last minute or so. So I just want to bring up quickly, business owners see the change for the family leave tax credit. That's now permanent. And that's a big deal for small and mid-sized businesses, right? Because federal law says you got to let these people go off, but businesses are losing money because they had to bring in other employees.
It is, but they're keeping some of that on. That will be helpful. And you know what's interesting? There's a few new unusual credits I'd like to mention if I may. There's a gambling. They've made changes with gambling. So people who are gambling, you can only take deductions for up to 90% as a below the line deduction against the gambling income that you have. A lot of people aren't aware of that, and I think it could really trip some people up. If somebody has substantial gambling, they may want to talk to a tax professional and look into something called session reporting that could help them a lot. So I
got to cut you right there because we're up against a hard break, Robin, with the commercials. But I just want to thank you so much for coming on. Robin Caruso, partner at national tax firm Prager Metis. Thank you so much for coming on this morning. Happy holidays to you.
Thank you.
You bet.
Bye-bye.
It is now 17 degrees at 8:28. When we come back, how holiday food choices have an impact on our bodies. We're coming right back.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big. Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
A very good morning. It is 8:30, Monday, December 15th, 2025. Welcome back to ONNJ Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. Our phone lines are open to 888-658-0234. Meteorologist Mike Favetta will be here in just a second with the full cold Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Mike, it is so cold that Eskimos here have gone back to Alaska. They say, hey, what the hell? We came down here to warm up. What's going on?
I have to check. It probably is warmer there because sometimes when you get these little dips in the jet stream and it's cold in the Northeast, tends to amplify over Alaska and it tends to be warmer there. Possibly, Ken. Possibly. Not far from the truth. And yet, we start off this morning with lots of sunshine. You'd think it would help to warm us up, but oh no, satellite nice and clear, a couple clouds out to sea, but we are running cold today. And with that chilly weather lasting through the afternoon, even down the shore, highs start, well, temperatures began in the upper teens and low 20s, only making it to 29 in Egg Harbor City, 32 just to the freezing mark in Ocean City, and Cape May, one of the few places in New Jersey that gets above the freezing mark today. We look ahead to the wind gusts that are right now upwards of 30 miles per hour, and they'll be gusting through this afternoon, taking our high today of 33 and making it feel more like the teens and 20s through the end of the day, thanks of course to all of those gusty winds. So the clear sky right now transitions to a few clouds across northern New Jersey through this afternoon. It's actually some residual lake effect snow that tries to cross the Delaware but doesn't quite make it, so we just get some clouds this afternoon because of that, but a reinforcing shot of cold air that lasts through tomorrow. Now, by Wednesday morning, we'll fast forward a little bit, you can see those winds coming in from the south and west. That actually pushes temperatures into the 40s briefly on Wednesday afternoon and helps prevent another hard freeze when we get some rain on Thursday. So here are some flurries around today. Our next weather system after a dry day tomorrow comes in for late Wednesday. Another shot of cool air, high pressure and control, keeping us dry, but late Thursday night into Friday, that's our rain that takes over, helping to compact, maybe not completely wash away all of the accumulation, but make it a little messy, especially with the intensity of the rain, into early Friday morning, and then clear and cool going into the weekend, but not harshly cold. The weekend forecast is actually above average slightly, and with temperatures well above freezing. We'll be in the 50s on Thursday and Friday. And then with that sunshine remaining for Saturday and Sunday, temperatures in the afternoon climb into the upper 30s and low 40s. So I think we'll see eventually the snowpack melt away, but it's the refreeze that's concerning each and every night as we're back down below the freezing mark, especially tonight and tomorrow going into the next few days. There's our rain for Friday. Saturday and Sunday looking a little bit better, but 40s will feel very pleasant, Ken, especially after the single digits and 20s this morning and tomorrow morning.
Nice. And by the way, I did look it up. Anchorage, Alaska, right now, 19 degrees, and Trenton, New Jersey, right now, 17 degrees. So if
Thank
you
you,
want a nice
meteorologist
heat wave,
Ken. That was very helpful.
go to Anchorage, Alaska, if you want to bask in the warmth, as opposed
Yeah,
to
it's true.
cold New Jersey. This is why I laugh when people say, how could you live in Florida? It's so damn hot in the summer. You know, in Fort Lauderdale by the ocean, especially, the minute it hits like the 90s, you get a thunderstorm and it cools it down. I can't tell you how many heat waves did we have? 6 or 7 heat waves this summer where it was hotter consistently in New Jersey than it was in
In New
South Florida.
Jersey.
So
That's
all you
right.
people who are saying,
Yep.
oh, I can't live in Florida. It's so damn hot in the summer. At least we have air conditioning in Florida,
Do
whatever.
they all talk like
Just
that? I'm just curious.
just the people who come from Bensonhurst. That's it. Everybody. See, if you look at the migration of people into certain parts of New Jersey, you could draw a straight line from the South
Hmm.
Shore of Brooklyn across to Staten Island. So when you start out, you come to Brooklyn, you move up to Staten Island, and then when you've really
Right.
made it, you come into New Jersey. But you draw literally just go dead west on
Right.
78,
Right.
and you'll see that's where everybody on that part of New Jersey talks just like the people in Brooklyn because they are children and grandchildren of the people who came here from
But
here.
does it
That's
start
my
in like
three and a half.
Massapequa and then work its way across the South Shore of Long Island?
No, just the opposite. No, I've
Oh,
actually
they
done it.
they
We
go
did a
this
study
way.
on this years ago. People in Suffolk County are Brooklynites. People in Nassau County are Queens people. That's why the accent in
Oh.
Nassau is very much like Queens, and in Suffolk it's very much like Brooklyn. It's much harder an accent. We'll talk after the show. Uh, anyway, it is what it is. Mike, thank you, sir. We will take
You
back
bet.
17 once again in Trenton. I'm getting yelled at from Pam. She's like, you have a show to do. Thank you, Pam. It is 19 degrees now in down in Cape May, and it is 15 degrees in Vineland. In terms of traffic around the area right now, we still have weather-related issues on the Ben Franklin Bridge between Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Delays there, and the footwalk is still closed due to icing. We have a crash on the Garden State local lanes northbound north of 114 Red Hill Road in Homedale. The right lane is blocked. Crash on Route 29 southbound Parkside Ave in Trenton. The left lane of 2 lanes closed, and we have a crash on the Turnpike Inner Roadway southbound south of Interchange 8 by Route 33. We also have problems on the Turnpike, another location by, let's see, in Cranberry. And we have a down pole on Route 206, both directions north of Eggert Crossing, Lawrence Township. All lanes are closed. Delays all the way over to Route 3 right now, making your way eastbound by exit, let's see, by Secaucus as you make your way to 495 North Bergen. All lanes are open, but that's just delays from volume and snow on the ground. Remember, we have a gridlock alert in effect in Manhattan today, so if you can take mass transit, work from home, or carpool, please, to try to keep the traffic down. Right now, your Holland tunnel approach is costing you 25 minutes, 35 at the Lincoln. And look at the GWB, upper and lower level. It is bumper to bumper stopped. Ugly. That's going to cost you 45 to 50 minutes. I think that's because a lot of people were avoiding the Lincoln before, so they went over to the GWB, and this is the result. It is 8:37 right now. You know, the holidays make so many of us fall into the same familiar pattern. You eat a little more than usual. You skip your workout. You promise yourself, don't worry, eat what you want. It'll be better in the new year. But health experts say that mindset sets us up for failure. Dr. John E. Lewis, PhD, founder and president of Dr. Lewis Nutrition, has a better way for us. We say good morning, Dr. Lewis.
Good morning, Ken. It's great to be here.
Good to have you on. Listen, I speak to you as a person who used to weigh 360 pounds, and I'm now about 185. And the one thing I always tell people, because they say, how did you get to 360? You don't wake up 360. You go to a party, you eat too much, you drink too much. Next day, you feel a little hungry, you have a little too much. You never get the reset, and you keep eating a little more and a little more and a little more. And your solution is to just don't do that. Right? Let's talk about poor lifestyle choices and how that impacts us.
Well, absolutely. You're so right. I mean, you don't just one day to the next go from 180 to 360. That's obviously true. So I think for a lot of people, especially in the holidays, we get on this sort of merry-go-round. It starts at Thanksgiving. It goes all the way through the New Year's, and you just go to one party after another. And of course, all of our typical parties are surrounded by food and alcohol and just so much excess. So I think the reality is people need to get on a mindset of, well, it's okay to have fun with my family and friends, but really your health is your most important characteristic. I mean, think about that for a second. We get so caught up in all the consumerism of the holidays of Christmas and buying and gifting, but yet where does health fall into that? It's like it is your most important characteristic. And yet so many times you just think about, well, I'm hungry. Let me just run through the fast food to get something to eat to satisfy this hunger. Let me skip the gym today because I've got too much to do. I've got too much work. I've got to take care of my kids. So I'll get to that the next day. But then the reality is as you were saying about your weight, you skip these things day after day, and days end up into months, end up into years, end up into decades. And this is where we find ourselves now with 75% of Americans are either overweight or obese. And get this statistic, 80% of Americans are now totally sedentary. So we have become the victims of our own worst devices in terms of all this convenience, all this technology. We were designed to move, whether you believe in evolution or creation or some combination. This thing, this machine that we have that we call our body is designed to move. And so when you're sitting around in a building all day and you're not moving, and then at the same time you're shoveling in calories, and then you're shoveling in even more when the holidays roll around, now you're really in the lurch in terms of not prioritizing your health and not taking steps to get healthy. And so it's really important. I mean, we're at a stage where we're spending $5 trillion per year in what we call a healthcare system. It's not healthcare, it's chronic disease management. And yet the Institute of Medicine, among others, says if we focused on good diet, and that's debatable, that's argumentative depending on your perspective, and we exercised every day, just those two behaviors, let alone some other things that we could do, but just those two behaviors would dramatically affect roughly 80 to 90% of the chronic disease occurrence. Think about that statistic for a minute.
It is so true. And I know some people who take it to the other extreme too. They say, well, come January, I'm going to follow this very strict regime. And when you plot something out that's too rigid, that could also backfire too, right? Because then you don't want to start. And I found that starting with little things like if you want to have a cookie during the holidays, take one cookie, have a bite, put it down. You don't need to make a meal out of a bag of cookies. Have a cookie and be done with it. And don't sit there and enjoy a whole bag, quote unquote, enjoy. I always get sick with a bag of cookies. You don't sit there and just keep eating the cookies. Focus on a lean protein, focus on a vegetable, and have the bite of the cookie and be done with it. Do your extra exercise.
I couldn't agree more. So yes, I mean, most people are just not designed. We don't have the hard wiring to have this attitude of I'm going to be so rigid that I turn myself into a very moody, irritable, grumpy person. That's not the strategy that most people can handle. Look at bodybuilders. I mean, those are folks that have very, very strict regimens around their exercise, around their diet. The average person cannot tolerate that. So I agree with you. Like, have your little snack, have a little taste of something, but don't make it like the priority or make it like the dominant portion of your calories. Have that little piece, but keep on with what you were saying in terms of eating healthy. And again, whatever that is, that's argumentative for a lot of people.
I'm with you. Doctor, what is a website for more information?
drlewisnutrition.com. We're loaded with information about our research from my history at the University of Miami. I'm here to help people if they have questions about nutrition, dietary supplementation, exercise. It's a wealth of information. You can find us on the Dr. Lewis Nutrition channel on social media as well.
Awesome. Dr. Lewis, happy holidays, and we are coming right back.
Thank you so much.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big. Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Welcome back to ONNJ Jersey Mornings for your Monday. It's 8:45, partly cloudy, windy this morning. It'll be cloudier through the day. Chance of flurries or snow, highs upper 20s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has the Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Mike, we are up to 17 whole degrees. I'm counting every one of them in Trenton.
Can't even make it to 20 during the course of the show. That's how cold it is, Ken. That's how cold it is. But there is some warmer weather on the way, and I had to fast forward to the 7-day forecast just to show you how beautiful that 51 degrees on Thursday will feel with the continued 50 degrees on Friday across New Jersey. There is a warm up on the way. It does last briefly before temperatures come cooling back into the 30s and 40s this weekend, even down the shore, anticipating a nice milder feel thanks to that wind direction pushing in very pleasant air on Thursday. So we'll see a nice thaw before a little bit of a refreeze. I think most of the snow should be melted off by then, even for Sunday and Monday with clouds on the way. So a milder trend headed into this week after a couple of frigid starts, and then looks nice going into next week. We've got more details, and you can always check the forecast online at ONNJ.com, Ken.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. 8:47 is our time. We have 17 degrees in Trenton, 19 in northern New Jersey. It is 19 degrees right now in Cape May, and it's only 15 still in Vineland. That's lagging behind, I guess, because it's inland a little bit. In terms of traffic, we have weather-related issues at the Ben Franklin Bridge, both directions between Pennsylvania and New Jersey right now. All lanes open. The footwalk, though, is on a delayed opening due to icing conditions. We have a crash just reported in Clifton, Route 21 southbound at exit 9. All lanes are open, but that's causing a lot of folks to rubberneck. We have a crash on the Turnpike Inner Roadway southbound south of Interchange 8 by Route 33. East Windsor, all lanes open, vehicles off to the right shoulder. And we have a crash now on 1 and 9. It's the truck route southbound Passaic River Drawbridge in Newark. The left lane is currently closed there. Crash on the Garden State Parkway, local lanes northbound north of 114 Red Hill Road in Homedale. And we have the right lane blocked there. And right now, delays on the Turnpike northbound from north of Interchange 14 to the southern mixing bowl in Newark. All lanes open, a 1 mile delay, all due to volume. The day is we have a gridlock alert day actually in Manhattan. So try to avoid driving in, take mass transit, or definitely get together with other folks and share, do a little car share, little ride sharing into Manhattan if you can to avoid the traffic, because right now the Hudson River crossings are a mess. The Holland and Lincoln tunnels both going to cost you 30 to 35. We look at the GWB upper and lower levels, 80-95 approach, bumper to bumper. It's going to cost you 45 to 50. 8:48 is the time right now. I know we were talking about how not to overeat and overindulge during the holidays just a moment ago with a PhD nutritionist. And then we're going to go from that to right to the other side. A sweet new collaboration generating buzz throughout New Jersey. Hey, you gotta indulge a little for the holidays. Two local brands have teamed up to create the next big treat, the Rook Cookie. It is a blending of New Jersey's awesome Rook coffee, great coffee house, by the way, with the incredible New Jersey Bang cookies. So we say good morning to George Kwan, who is a founder and co-owner of Bang Cookies. Good to have you on. And do we also have Mr. Smilo too, Mike? Did he come on? All right, we have George. We're working on getting Mike on too, but we got George on. So it's sorry, Mike. I know he can hear me. Sorry, Mike. Now George is going to get to talk more. So let's start about George. First of all, good morning, happy holidays, and I should let you know that the s'mores cookie that you have, which I tried about a week ago, should be illegal. I don't know how you have a license to sell that cookie. How did this collaboration, by the way, come about with Rook?
So happy holidays, Ken, and thank you for having me on and having Mike on. So yes, and to answer your question, us having this collaboration. Yes, I was having this collaboration with Rook was through a partnership that was through Mike, who's been friends with the people at Rook, and we had a connection there. And I have awesome coffee, by the way. I've had the coffee, and the New York style coffee was amazing. And we just thought about the fact that like having a cookie with coffee would make sense because a lot of people do ask for coffee at our stores. And when I had the coffee at Rook, it was just one of those things where I'm like, wow, this is one of the best coffees I've ever had in my life. So why don't we make a cookie that tastes like that coffee and then see how well it works and how well it sells? And it was a great collaboration because I kept on selling it out. It was awesome.
That's cool. And a lot of people don't realize that when you add coffee to chocolate, it brings out the flavor of chocolate that without the coffee, you don't taste. And you don't get a strong coffee taste. Just a little coffee flavor in chocolate brings out that flavor. Here, we're joined now by Mike Smilo, who's a co-owner and chief growth officer too at Bang. So we'll go say, number one, good morning to you. Happy holidays.
Good
First day
morning.
of Hanukkah. Christmas season. Good to have you on. And talk about how now this collaboration came up. You've come up with the new cookie, the combination of Rook coffee rather, and your cookies. Talk about that.
Well, yeah, for me, I mean, it makes sense. I'm from Monmouth County, so I grew up to literally to Rook Coffee all the time. That's my morning mantra. So for me, it made sense. I'm always going to one of their stores. I live near Homedale myself. And Mike Sorrentino, our partner in the situation, he's always at the Homedale Rook spot too. In fact, we usually go there to have coffee before our day starts. So for me, this was a natural move to two iconic Jersey Shore brands. So it made sense.
I love it. I love anything that stays focused on New Jersey and that Mike as well, Sorrentino. You guys have all been so proud of your state and kept everything in the state. And that's what makes me so excited about having you guys on because you are proud Garden Staters and you keep it all local. Some of the cookies you have, by the way, just so that people, in case they don't know, triple chocolate cookie, the peanut butter chocolate chip cookie. My favorite I mentioned is the s'mores. And the other one, which I got to try now, your Snicker churro. Are you out of your minds? That sounds insanely delicious. When did you come up with that one?
That was one of the original OGs, right, George?
Yes, it was an original one that we came up with, mainly because we've had team members and myself personally liking churros a lot, and churros typically have some sort of filling inside. So we figured, why don't we have a combination of cinnamon and brown sugar along with a stuffed cookie that has dulce de leche in the middle. Hence the name Sticker Churro Cookie came out. And it has been one of our best sellers and has moved a lot. And it's one of the favorites for a lot of people here in New Jersey and all across the country too.
Yeah, I mean, what could be wrong with that? Let's take brown sugar, let's take some cinnamon, let's stuff it, let's do churro, and let's mix it all together. And it's also a combination of cultures, if you think about it, in that cookie. It just sounds insanely good. I would probably order a dozen and have all of them in the car on the way home without letting my family taste any of them. You have also, you're big into sea salt because I know salt brings out that extra poof of flavor. So you have sea salt chocolate chip cookie and the sea salt caramel cookie as well, right?
Yes. And you should actually work for the company since you know so much about the cookies. I mean, the way you're describing the ingredients is how we are actually making the cookies. Like the nuances of
Yeah, but
add up to like
Well,
the flavor profile.
Well, I did want to make sure we point this out because we're pushing this more, but we are, a healthy dessert choice as well, and that's one of our things we've always stayed true to. In fact, when we make our cookies, some of our cookies only have a handful of ingredients, 8 to 10 ingredients per cookie. So even though they're ridiculously delicious, gooey, we still stay true to the Bane Cookie brand, which is keeping our ingredients natural and good. So we
Yeah.
that's one of the things for us too is sourcing ingredients. That remains one of our main things, and we're constantly out there looking for the best ingredients, best quality ingredients.
So one
Yeah,
of the
and
things,
look,
Ken, is
guys, go
yeah,
ahead, please. Go ahead, George.
one of the things for us as a company when we first started the business is to make sure that we have clean label ingredients, and we really focus on not having artificial dyes, artificial colors in our product. And that's a big thing for us, and that's why the company initially is one of the founding principles is how do we have a better ingredient cookie that doesn't have all that that doesn't have like that icky ingredient list that you can't even pronounce. So it's really important to us that we have all natural, clean label, and or organic ingredients in our cookies. And I think it's a big
Yeah.
thing for us.
I've seen too many bakeries, like traditional, I'm raised near Italian bakeries in southern New York and in like the Newark area. And years ago, when you bit into a cookie from one of those bakeries, you tasted the butter, you tasted the brown sugar. Today, crap. I'm tired of what used to be the traditional Italian bakeries. They all add it's hydrogenated oils to substitute for the butter. They add cheap sugar flavorings, etc. You can taste it. It's dry. There's no taste, and that's why you guys coming about, and you probably earn the success you have, because if you're gonna have a cookie. Why waste 300 calories on a piece of crap from the store that's dry and been sitting on a shelf for 6 months when you could go and have a cookie you bite into, you're going to enjoy it, and one of your cookies will satisfy.
Absolutely. And in fact, when you have one of our cookies, as you know, it seems you really know, you don't feel, broken down and tired and exhausted. In fact, I live here in Red Bank, and I have a store also in our Ocean Township area, and I sit there sometimes on DoorDash with the late night cravings. I'll order some cookies to us, and I'll order those chocolate chip mini cookies. I could go through a couple of them and not have that energy, drop afterwards. It's just a lighter cookie, even though it's dense and it is a heavier cookie, it doesn't make you feel that way.
Guys, tell everybody your website so they can see all the cookies and know how to order.
Yep. George, it's banecookies.com.
It's banecookies.com. And Ken, it's Bang Cookie. It's BANGCOOKIES.com. And we do ship nationwide. You could also come to our stores. And one thing, Ken, I do want to mention another thing is this holiday season, we have been working with a lot of school fundraisers to help them raise money through our digital fundraising platform, of which we give 40% back to the students, which is a big amount. So that's something that has helped a lot of students, not just in New Jersey, but all across the country. It's a digital fundraiser that you can actually raise a good amount of money with, and it's been helping students for their causes. So, and also nonprofits. So yeah, it's nice to cut checks to students that have raised money with our cookies, and it's just one of those things where we're proud of to be given back to the community. So our fundraisers.
And try the Rook cookie in the meantime too. I don't mean to cut you off because we're at the end of the show, but I love you guys. God bless you for what you do. Happy holidays, George Kwan, founder and co-owner, Mike Smilo, co-owner and chief growth officer of Bang Cookies. Thank you for coming.
All right.
Happy holidays.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
See you. Happy holidays.
Thanks for watching.